Hello guys, my name's Alex and welcome back to a brand new video. Now in today's video, since today is Halloween, people are dressing around in scary costumes and watching scary movies. We're going to be on the topic of scariness and I'm going to be giving you guys my top 5 most scariest Doctor Who episodes. Now I've picked episodes and stories from both the modern series and also from the classic series as well. So don't feel threatened out if you feel like that only your list only contains modern Who episodes and only classic Who stories, but don't worry, get commenting down below your top 5 most scariest Doctor Who episodes since we're on the topic of Halloween and scariness. So without further ado, let's get in straight into this list by starting off at number 5 with The Deadly Assassin. The Deadly Assassin is a wonderful Doctor Who story. I think that this story plays on basic fears, but also I think there's a level of uncertainty throughout this story. I really love Gallifrey. Gallifrey in this feels like more of a forbidden haunted house. You don't know you don't know what's inside the Coliseum or what's inside every single room on Gallifrey. For me, this is the return story for the Doctor to return to Gallifrey. But also, he feels like this is just a place for him just to wander around, but he doesn't know the uncertainty, doesn't know the situation of what he's capable at. But in this story, we have the wonderful Peter Pratt, who plays one of the most best and most creepiest and sinister masters of all time. I really love Peter Pratt's master in this because just the level of uncertainty, the way he speaks, his voice is so sinister, and I love his movement in this episode, the way he moves to the shadows and he becomes very creepy, very sinister. That's the one reason why I love Peter Pratt's master. And also I really love those moments where he basically took an injection shot which basically put him to sleep for a few minutes, and then when the Doctor and 2 other people were examining a body, he came out of the shadows and spooked them. And that's what I love about the Master in this. He is absolutely so terrifying. But also I really do like Gallifrey in this. I think Gallifrey feels more of a forbidden kind of haunted house. It just feels like this place is just so forbidden for anyone just to wander around. I mean, the Doctor, he's pretty much a Time Lord here, and he could just, wander around Gallifrey like, if it's like his home, because it is his home. But he doesn't really understand the uncertainty feeling, like he has to warn the president. But I just think there are some really great moments in this story. But also the Matrix is another element which I really like, the scare factor. It's just the uncertainty feeling of what's inside the Matrix. You don't know what's inside the Matrix. It's just that unknowing feeling of what's inside, who's inside the Matrix, fighting against the Doctor. It's just amazing and just really terrifying. And most of these other moments in the story are really good and really intense as well. Some of these really dark moments, like for one person, he went up to the top just to check out some camera, then came back down and then basically said, I'm sorry. He just fell to the ground and he saw a knife stabbed in the back. That's how creepy this story is, because it's just an uncertainty feeling of the Master being at large, being very dangerous. And this is one of the reasons why I really like The Deadly Assassin. It's one of those darker episodes which I find the most creepiest in my opinion. And so that's at number 5, The Deadly Assassin. Now we're moving on to number 4, which I have to say is the best episode to physically portray the Cybermen, and it is the Moonbase. For me, the Moonbase is the winner to show how creepy and how menacing the Cybermen can be. This episode, or this story for me, is extremely well done for me, because I think the base under siege feeling, the atmosphere, is so atmospheric, it's so spine chilling just to see the Moonbase and just to see the Cybermen entering the base and taking all the patients and killing people silently one by one. It's so spine chilling and so amazing and terrifying. I love the Cybermen in this. The Cybermen stay true to their guts. They stick to the shadows, being very much silent, dark killers in this. And I love their shadows in this. The shadows just creep me out. But also I think that the plot is certainly well executed. But also I really do like the Cybermen animation in parts 1 and 3. I think that the animation in this story really helps with bringing out the scare factor. For me, the animation in this is so much better than any other animation that we've had. Honestly, the Moonbase animation is really awesome, and I love how it plays with the scare factor and how to really portray these Cybermen, how to show them how scary they are and how menacing and how far they will go to take over the Moonbase. It's such a fantastic story. I really love the Moonbase, but also I really do like some other episodes that do the same thing with the Cybermen, staying true to the dark, being very creepy. Like, say for instance, World in a Fun Time. That's a brilliant example to show how creepy and how scary the Cybermen really are. But for me, the Moonbase just wins it for me for the classic series, because it's such a base on the siege story, and I love base on the siege stories because they just make me feel so isolated and I never know what's at large. It's always a very uncertainty feeling when you don't know what's going on. But the Moonbase is a fantastic Cyberman story, just the best way to show how creepy and how menacing and how honestly so horrifying the Cybermen really are. It's just a fantastic story. I honestly love the Moonbase. And so that's at number 4, the Moonbase. Now we're moving on to a modern Doctor Who episode, and it is at number 3, and I have gone for The Empty Child and The Doctor Dances. Wow, what can I say? When I watched this when I was 5, I was behind the sofa and I never came out until the next day. I was so afraid of that small child saying, "Are you my mummy?" Everyone just completely got spooked out from that child. So innocent of a child who looks like a gas mask zombie. It's so iconic. But also the way this episode played out throughout the little empty child, the idea of it is just amazing, and the way that it doesn't really know it's destroying people and turning people into zombies is just a very uncertainty feeling that I always have about this episode. But also this is the rare occasion of this is the only story which I feel that whenever you learn about what's going on, the more creepy it gets. For me, this episode works extremely well. I really love this two-parter because not knowing what this child is all about until you really understand at the end of The Empty Child for part 1, you really understand and get the feeling that this child is completely messed up, that these nanogenes have completed a genetic makeup of what supposed to be looks like a human, a child with a gas mask on, and then these nanogenes are so completely like absorbed by this child, and then whatever this child touches, this child can obviously inflict pain and destruction onto anyone it sees and says, "Are you my mummy?" Touches the people and then they become gas mask zombies. The thing is, this is one of the most amazing Doctor Who episodes, which I think is much better than Blink. Personally, you may disagree with that, but I think that The Empty Child single-handedly is one of the most spookiest and one of the most creepiest monsters in the modern series. I really love just this two-parter. I think that the plot is just extremely well done, but also I think the direction and the writing. Stephen Moffat wrote this, not Russell T Davies. Stephen Moffat wrote this. Wow, this was his first ever story for Doctor Who, and my word, this is one of the best Doctor Who stories that Stephen Moffat has done for Doctor Who. This is just acceptable, so sensational. But also I think that when this child just destroys and converts people to become gas mask zombies and saying, "Are you my mummy?" and just the way that the Doctor, Jack and Rose are surrounded in this barbed wire kind of cage in the final episode when all of these gas mask zombies are saying, "Are you my mummy? Mummy, mummy." It's just a very, very atmospheric and chilling episode. But also I think that this child is just looking for its mother, and that's all it is. It's just that the way we think that this child is completely messed up because of these nanogenes, and I think that it doesn't even know, it doesn't even realise what it's doing to the world. All it wants to do is just find its mother. That's all this child wants to find. It wants to find its mummy. And the thing is, it will destroy the entire world to do it. In order to get its mother, it will destroy the world, even if it converts many other people to become gas mask zombies. He will keep on calling until he gets his answer. Yes, I am your mummy. It's an amazing two-parter. I love The Empty Child and The Doctor Dances. It's a fantastic two-parter, and this is what I call scary at the top of its scariness. I love this two-parter. Really brilliant by Stephen Moffat. A brilliant two-parter that's just scares the living heck out of me. Oh my word, it's just amazing. And so that is at number 3, The Empty Child and The Doctor Dances. Now coming in at number 2, now this story is my favourite scary classic Who story of all time. It's just sensational. When I bought it and when I first watched it, I was completely stunned of what I watched. It was so terrifying, so creepy, and this story presents Base Under Siege at its best, and it is horror of Fang Rock. How could you not like Horror of Fang Rock? Horror of Fang Rock is a phenomenal story. If you want brilliant Base Under Siege content, brilliant storytelling, brilliant drama, brilliant horror moments, scary moments, then this is the story for you. Horror of Fang Rock is a sensational story. I absolutely adore it to bits. The atmosphere was so spine-chilling, so atmospheric, I could hardly breathe. It was just so impalpable just to look at this small little insect, this little creature, the Rooters, killing all of these people silently, one by one, until the Doctor and Leela remain. Oh my word, and the death scenes are so good. Even that one person who just screams so loud, I could just hear the reaction of everyone just screaming behind me, just screaming at just this evil creature, the Rooter, can take on any human form and kill people instantly. Many of these scary moments I really like, and I think it just comes to that the lighthouse is just the only place where people can be safe. But once the creature gets inside the lighthouse, there's no way out, and I love that element. And one of my favourite moments is when Vince, one of the lighthouse keepers, goes down to the bottom of the lighthouse, possibly trying to shove more coal into the fire. Ben, who was unfortunately just killed in the episode, he was lying dead on the floor probably moments ago, and then he hears footsteps and a little electric shock, and then suddenly when he goes downstairs, he finds Ben is gone. His body just disappeared. Ben's body was just lying on the ground, and then the moment he went downstairs, he's gone. Honestly, it's one of the most scariest moments. I was shocked of his reaction. It was like, and the music plays out so well. I love Horror of Fang Rock, and honestly, some of these death scenes are just so amazing. But also, there are some stupid death scenes which some people like. I know one person, he was basically grabbing so much gold and diamonds, and then suddenly the Rootin just basically tangled him and just electrocuted him. And I thought that was just very pointless. But I just think the way that this episode or this story handles with being very dark, being the uncertainty feeling of what's out there in the dark, darkness on the lake. It's so terrifying. The outside scenes are one of the best scenes I've ever seen in this story. The way that they go outside and trying to find out this creature and like where's it hiding. Oh my word, just going outside is even more scary than being inside with the creature itself. It's absolutely amazing. So much atmospheric content, but also it's very much a based on the siege story at its best. Horror Fang Rock is just sensational. I love it to bits, and I think the Doctor and Leela are just extremely good in this episode. I love Horror Fang Rock to bits. I mean, this is possibly the best classic Who story to present horror, scariness, and based on the siege content all in one story. It's amazing. I love it to bits. And so you may be thinking, well, what's at number one? I watched this episode recently, and it's a story from the modern series, and I absolutely love this two-parter. It's probably one of my favourite two-parters of all time in Doctor Who, and it is The Impossible Planet and the Satan Pit. Oh my god! How can I not ignore that this episode extremely spooked me out from the start to the beginning. I was scared. This two-parter is another based on the siege story, but also it just shows of how unpredictable they're in this situation. You may be thinking, well, they're on the sanction base, on a piece of rock, under the orbit of a black hole without falling in. How unpredictable is that? That's like if you leave this planet, you get sucked into the black hole. If the planet, breaks up or, gets destroyed, it falls into the black hole. There's just basically no way out of this situation. And I honestly love it when you have a base on the siege story and there's no way out. I absolutely love it. I think that the Beast is extremely realistic. I love the Beast. It very much has the sign of the devil, and the Ood, especially the Ood, are really sinister. Especially when possessed Toby gets, the ashes or like the scars on his face. It basically gets caught up in the Ood and their eyes turn red. Honestly, that is so creepy, so scary, and so horrifying. Oh, the Ood are just so creepy. From the beginning to the end, I love the Ood. You don't even know, they just walk in single files with their, with their ball talking, but also with their red eyes. You could just see them, honestly being the absolute threat in this two-parter. But also, one of my favourite scenes in this story has to be when it's in the Satan's pit, when all of the other crew members are going down into the tunnels, and then they hear, footsteps and, people going inside the tunnels. They hear other people going inside the tunnels, when it's actually the Ood going inside the tunnels. They're in the tunnel with their red eyes catching up to the crew members. That for me is one of the most intense and one of the most insane scenes that just shows how creepy and how terrifying this story really is. Honestly, but also I think the music has an incredible big role in this two-parter, because whenever you have a creepy moment coming up in the story, you have that high-pitched building up, and then you get like, a dramatic beat. It just shows how well that they can build up so much dramatic music within scary moments. Whenever you have a scary moment coming your way, you have some epic music in the background, which just makes the entire moment so much better. Even when possessed Toby is being haunted by the voice, behind. Toby, don't turn around. I'm right behind you. If you turn, you will die. I'm right behind you, Toby. And like, that is so terrifying. I love the voice behind Toby, haunting Toby. Don't turn around. The voice of the devil. I love it. It's honestly how you can easily creep somebody out. If you are wanting a story tonight to watch The Impossible Planet and the Satan Pit. It's one of the best two-parters from Doctor Who. I love it. I honestly adore it to bits. If I can say many things about this two-parter, it's so creepy, it's so scary, it's so horrifying. Is there any more I should go on? But honestly, I love just the dramatic scenes in this two-parter. There are just so many dramatic moments, and just the way that I really love this space under siege story with no way out. It feels like there is nothing else to do except for fall into the black hole. The black hole is basically the linear factor of where you have one way out, but you're trying to escape the force of a black hole. That's so difficult, and I think the music is just so brilliant. The music for me just wins this story for me. I absolutely love the music. And again, I think the Beast is so brilliant with its taunting and with its threats. The voices are really creepy, and the way that it can, know about these crew members' dark secrets. I love that. And I honestly like the bit where the valiant child who will die in battle so very soon. And that's basically one of the most scariest bits of this episode. But also that leads into the series 2 finale where Rose gets, lost with the Doctor. And that is such a really great key element within series 2. That little line there, I really love that. Again, that's all I can say about the Impossible Planet and the Satan's Pit. But apart from that, go watch it. If you want a scary story tonight, then this is one of your stories to watch. But also if you want to watch Horror Fang Rock, The Empty Child and the Doctor Dances, the Moonbase, or even the Deadly Assassin, then pick either one of those stories. Or if you have any similar choices, then please watch any of those tonight, because honestly I do feel like a real scary Doctor Who story tonight, and so I'm going to enjoy that tonight. Anyway guys, thank you very much guys for watching for this video. I hope you have enjoyed it. Be sure to leave a like on this video, and remember to please comment down below your top 5 most scariest Doctor Who episodes. And make sure you subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Thank you very much guys for watching. Have a great Halloween night, and I will see you guys next time in the next video. Until then guys, see you later, and happy Halloween everyone.